Hello everyone, it's Kari from sunshineinmypocket.com. Today we have a fun card using this angry little penguin. At least I thought he looked kind of angry. This is a crested penguin from the Caffeinated Critters stamp set, which is brand new. And I thought it would be funny to pair this penguin up with some of the little penguins from the Ice Day stamp set. So you can see I have already cut and colored a bunch of these little penguins and that crested penguin, and I thought it would be funny to have them kind of dancing around that penguin. So we're going to make a little card using all these images, but first I wanted to stamp a small little fish on that coffee cup of the crested penguin. And so the little fish is from the Ice Day stamp set. There's lots of cute little accessories and things you can use also to turn it into a Christmas themed card if you wanted to. There are some Santa hats even and candy canes, but look how cute that little fish looks on the coffee mug. So now I'm going to go ahead and take the little cliff from the Ice Day stamp set, and I thought that would look really great on this card. I have colored this up before to look like a cliff with like dirt and more of a hill type scene, but today we're going to turn it into more of an ice sculpture or an iceberg, if you will. I'm also going to take some masking magic and stamp that onto the masking magic so we can mask this off for some ink blending. I'm cutting this out with my scissors, just being very careful. It's pretty easy to cut. It's a very simple image as far as the lines go. And then I'll put that right over the top of our iceberg, just like this. So now we can do some ink blending over the top, and I went with purples because I've done a lot of blue cards lately, so I thought the sky would be pretty in some purpley colors. I've got a large blending brush here and a regular blending brush for my smaller inks. I'm going to start with some really light purple. This is the milled lavender, I believe. And I'm just going to go around the edges with that light purple, just like this, and just starting on the edge of the paper and blending my way onto the paper. Just going very, very slowly and building up that color. Then once we have a good amount of that color on, I'll go in with a darker purple. This is the Dusty Concord, and I'm using my larger blending brush to get a lot of color on pretty quickly. I love using these blending brushes for backgrounds especially because it really helps me to get that color on faster, and it's nice and smooth. So after that one, I'm going to go in with even darker color. This is Villainous Potion. And I'll go all the way around the edges. I'm leaving the center of the panel a little bit lighter. And that'll make it look like kind of a dreamy little scene. And now we're ready to build our scene with all of our penguins. And look how funny they are dancing around like the mama penguin. I just got a kick out of that. I'm going to use these sentiments from this stamp set, and I have to kind of move the penguin over just a touch to the left in order to leave room for that sentiment. So we're going to just kind of adjust everything just a little to make this work. And the sentiment says, I do what I can to make the world a better place. Like, for example, today I had my coffee. Isn't that a great one? So that's perfect for this little scene and this angry little penguin. And now we can go ahead and build everything up, but I am going to use this frame die right here to add some stitching around the entire edge of the panel. So I'm going to line that up and tape that on so it does not move. And then I'll run that through my die cutting machine and we'll get a nice little stitched edge around there. And then I'll pull off my masking magic. Now this was a little more difficult to get off this time since I ran it through my die cutting machine. So if you do this, I do recommend peeling off that masking magic first and then doing the die cutting. It'll just make things easier. It'll be easier to remove that. I'm using some cool grays now to emphasize the snow. So I've got C0, C1, and I believe I go in with C3, which is a little bit darker also. And that'll just make everything pop, make it look a little more 3D. And I'm just following the lines on this little iceberg. I'm following the artist lines, and that is pretty easy to do. So it looks like I have C0, C1, and C00. So I'm using the lightest shades of gray that I have, and see how it makes that shadowing just a little bit, makes it look a little more white, and makes the top portion pop right off. I'll just go over the bottom portion of that snow with a few of these colors as well. And that's all there is to it. You really don't have to be an artist to get this part done. It looks really great. So there we go. So I'll put those away, and now we can build up our little scene. I'm going to add some foam squares to the back of the little penguins, and I will glue on the larger penguin just with some liquid adhesive. And I'm just going to have them kind of dancing all around like little kiddos. I don't know if there are any moms out there, but sometimes the Christmas season, when the kids are on break, kind of feels a little bit like this. So I'll glue down this penguin here with the coffee cup, add those other little penguins just around, just like this. And they're popped up to give a little more dimension to this scene and dancing all around. There we go. Now we can add this to our card base. I am going to add a few little snowflakes from my stash. These are just little snowflake die cuts. And I'll glue those down, and then we'll make them a little more sparkly. So once those are glued down, I'm going to bring in the card base. We'll glue all that down. And once that is down, we can add some Stardust stickles for a little sparkle to the snowflakes. I'll line that up just like this. And this card was really simple to put together, but I think it is perfect for all those moms who understand this feeling very, very well. So there's a little Stardust stickles there on the snowflakes. I did manage to get a little bit of that stickles off into the purple on this one here. And when you do that, sometimes it does take away the color of your ink blending, which I was not very happy about. So I'm going to try to fix this right here. Those that just went off just a touch. I'm going to show you how I'm going to fix that in a minute. I'll let that dry for a minute while I finish up this last snowflake with the stickles. And then it's easy enough to fix. I just picked a purple marker that matched the background, and I'll just touch up the little spot that turned a little bit white. Just like that. You can barely even tell now. And there we go. There's our card for today. I think it's really a fun one. I love these images from Miss Ink. I will link all of the products below that I use, so you could take a look if you're interested. I hope you did enjoy though. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We'll have a lot more inspiration coming your way. And I also hope you have a very happy holiday season filled with crafting and a lot of people that you love. We'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.